Are you a first-time home buyer, or maybe you haven't purchased a home in the last few years? Well, I'm Chuck Shaver with the Shaver Group at Keller Williams Heritage Realty, and today I'm going to be sharing some first-time home buyer mistakes that you're going to want to try to avoid when buying a home. Make sure to stick around for mistake number 5, as it's really a biggie and I'm seeing a lot in today's market. First, let's address the most common problem that first-time home buyers regularly make. That is looking before they're financially ready. Once you get the idea in your head that you want to buy a house, it's really hard not to spend every waking minute of your time on Zillow, Realtor.com, or 100 other websites looking at every home that pops up. You might even start creating a priority list in your head of things you have to have based on what you see on those pages. However, this can be very dangerous until you have spoken with a lender and have a general idea of how much you can actually afford. Not only can this waste a lot of your time, but it can also create unrealistic expectations, and I've seen it lead to tears. Another thing to keep in mind is that just because you are approved up to a certain amount doesn't mean you should actually spend that amount. Depending on how much you are paid, lenders qualify you based on your gross income. This means that they don't calculate things such as actual taxes and insurance that you may pay out of your paycheck. They do take into account your debts, but not other expenses such as what you spend on a normal day-to-day basis. It's important to get very clear on how much you spend in a month and then calculate on how much that leaves you for a mortgage payment. Now keep in mind that you'll also have extra expenses such as utilities and repairs that you should calculate into your budget. If you've ever heard the term house poor, well, this is how you avoid that. Number 2, let's talk about having the wrong people on your team. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Just because your cousin or your next door neighbor is a realtor or mortgage lender doesn't mean they are the best option for you. Buying a house is most likely the biggest purchase you can make in your entire life, and you can potentially lose thousands of dollars by letting the wrong person help you. When looking for an agent, it's important to find a dedicated buyer's agent who works full-time and they have a track record of more than, like 6 months. In addition to your realtor, you should also be careful with who you use to finance your loan. You may never even see your lender in person, but they are truly a crucial part to the home buying process. Each lender can offer different programs and competitive rates, so it's important to shop around and don't just settle with the first person you speak with. It's also important to find a lender who you can easily reach and feel comfortable asking questions with. This communication is vital, and it could be the determining factor on if you close on your home on time or not. Your realtor probably has 3 or 4 go-to lenders that you can trust, so avoid calling someone from an ad you saw online or worse yet, on television. Number 3, not understanding your timeline. Now, beginning your home search too early or too late can be a big mistake, so let me break down the time frame for you. Depending on your criteria, the actual home search could take anywhere from a week to a few months. Once you've found a home and your offer has been accepted, this process should take an additional 30 to 45 days to close. So if you start looking too early, there's a good chance that the home you are looking at will really not even be available when you're ready, and you might also burn yourself out from the search. But not giving yourself enough time to find a home could also potentially leave you homeless or having to settle depending on your current living situation. This is an emotional process. If you aren't clear in your time frame and your priorities, it leaves room for decisions to be made on emotions, which can be very dangerous. When you are clear with these things, you'll be able to make confident decisions, which leads me to my next point. Number 4, you must have clear priorities. It's important to get very clear on what is a non-negotiable for you. I'm sure that you may want a whole bunch of things for your next house, but try to be as realistic as possible and list the items that are a top priority for you. Now, this may seem very simple and very obvious, but trust me, after seeing just a few houses, you're going to soon start blending them all up together. When you have a priority list, it will help you sort through the homes more easily, and it will help you move on to better options. This will also help you when it comes time to make a decision about putting in an offer. It's very easy to get caught up on the looks of things, and sometimes you may lose sight of your needs if they aren't clearly defined and maybe even written down. Number 5, and this is a big one, trying to predict the market like you're Nostradamus or something. I get asked all the time about how the market is doing. Sometimes people are just curious, but a lot of times they're generally wanting to know because they're trying to pick the right time to buy or sell their home. While it's good to be informed of the market conditions, it's also important to do what's best for you and your situation at that time. If you're planning on being in your next home for 5 or 10 years, it doesn't really matter what the market is doing today. Historically speaking, your home value is going to go up with time. I believe there's like a historical 4% increase year over year. You should be purchasing a residence because you need a home. So don't treat it like you're trading on the New York Stock Exchange or something like that. Now, if you're looking for an investment property and just wanting to make some quick cash, then this is a completely different story. If you're looking to increase the quality of your life, then you should buy when you're comfortably and financially able to do so. If interest rates are high, that may mean the prices might be a little bit lower and that you can perhaps refinance in the future. If they are low, then prices might be a little higher. If we had a crystal ball and we could predict the market, we would all be rich. So it's best to stay focused on your priorities and buy when you can comfortably afford to do so. Of course, there are dozens or maybe hundreds of other mistakes that I've seen over the years that I'm counseling my customers against, but I simply can't comment on all of them here. If you have one that you think should be on this list, please put that in the comment section below and perhaps others can comment on it, or perhaps I'll expand on it. If you have questions about the real estate market, or if you're thinking about buying or selling, either reach out to me directly or put a comment in the comment section below and we will reach out to you. Of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe as it helps me with Google's algorithm. Also, hit that little bell down there as it will give you a notification whenever I post other videos just like this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Your realtor is very likely... Why'd you do that?
Because I wanted you to stop.
I was one sentence away. Okay, I think we can still end it.